Today marked the end of a relationship. No, it didn't involve a girl. There was no changing of a relationship status on Facebook. I didn't have to endure the dreaded call from my mom to make sure her son's heart wasn't broken, nor was I compelled to crack open a beer and drown my sorrows in the light-headed swim of an alcoholic beverage. Perhaps I should start over. You see, I'm a runner. The only love story in this tale is my love for running. I've completed multiple 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, and even a full marathon. I run when I'm bored. I run when I'm angry. I even run when I'm sick. Probably not the best of ideas. It's my release, the activity that keeps me sane as I jog through the daily grind of life. As for the relationship I was talking about, those would be my Nike sneakers. May they rest in peace. Last weekend, my mom, who came to Arizona to visit, took one look at those sneakers and, well, I'll let her do the talking.
You were looking like a hobo, a homeless person.
Mom.
A hobo.
Did you see my old shoes?
I saw them when you came to visit in California, and I was appalled because your toes were coming through.
Oh, do you remember what they looked like?
Yes, I believe that they had the side toe, like your small toes, on both sides were coming through, and I even believe that your sole was flapping, like it was speaking.
Perhaps my mom should have become a journalist, because her description doesn't get any more accurate. It was true. There were holes in them, and I'm not quite sure that gray was the original color of those shoes. Despite my protest, my mom, in her motherly manner, took her adult son to the store to buy a fresh new pair. Thank you, Mom. I was pretty sure my Nikes would never comfort my feet again, but I couldn't throw them away. There were too many memories, and I just couldn't let them go.
You become very attached to your shoes, and you won't give them up under any circumstances. You would just wear them if they were the laces and the soles.
Also true. I become very attached. I don't think my mom understands the bond that a runner can develop with a good pair of shoes. And the bond that I had with my Nikes, it was very strong. But I knew I had to let go, somehow. It wasn't until this morning that I discovered the perfect way to say goodbye. Maricopa's very first mud run was held on an empty parcel of city land just off Edison Road. Picture this. Multiple runners ascending waterlogged dirt hills, splashing through murky pools, and crawling through a sloshy length of soft mud. I was simply there to observe, to take photos for InMaricopa.com. But the possibility of fun was gnawing at me. I texted my editor to get the go-ahead to take off my observer's cap and put my body to the test. In the back of my mind, I thought about my shoes and knew that this was where they'd make their last stand. I went home, threw on my running gear, laced up those nasty sneakers, and came back. I had never done a mud run, so before going through the course, I wanted to get an idea of what was to come. Savannah Hull, a Maricopa high school student, had participated in a previous heat. Can you just tell me about the course? How was it?
It was really fun. It was like mud, and then there was hay bales you had to jump over, and there were like tubes you had to crawl through, and you just had to crawl through mud, and it was really fun.
In a conversation I had with Rocky Brown, youth coordinator for the city of Maricopa, I asked whether my beat-up running shoes would be a problem. Yeah, my shoes right now have holes in them. Is that going to be a problem at all?
Not if I would suggest just throwing those away as soon as you're done, so they're the perfect shoes for this type of race.
His words made me even more grateful that I decided to lace up those shoes one last time. When the people participating in my heat were called to the starting line, I was a bit nervous, but ready to have fun. Before me was a course about 1.25 miles in length, which myself and a handful of runners would have to circle twice. I gave my recorder to Craig, a freelancer for In Maricopa. He captured the sounds of my trial. If it sounds a bit muddy and sloppy, that's because it was. Up hills, down hills, through pools of water, I completed every obstacle, and my shoes, even though they were filled with dirt, managed to stay on. When I got home, feeling satisfied that my fun was had, I took off those shoes and left them by the door. After running a hot shower and changing, I came out and looked at my old friends, now caked in multiple layers of dirt. We had had some good times, runs both far and short, but I knew, deep down, that our relationship had ran its course. I took the shoes out into the backyard where the garbage cans are kept and said my farewell. All right, old boys, your last resting place. For InMaricopa.com, I'm Kyle Daly.